And with the impetus to discuss the issues now, we're honored to be joined by Arnold Roth. He's the father of Sbarro terror victim Malka Roth, coming to us from Jerusalem. Look, first of all, I want to thank you, for the fortitude that you've displayed over these years. Just stand up the way you have all these years. You've been essentially a warrior for the international awareness of this atrocity, and notably for your fight to reach justice, the extradition for one of these convicted accessories to that bombing, Ahmed Tamimi, now in Jordan. Look, Interpol dropped the warrant last year. Where do those efforts stand?
You've put it perfectly. On one hand, there's this human dimension. On the other, there is the search for justice. I'd like to come across as charming and friendly to everybody and to understand why people do and don't do what they do and don't do, but I can't. This woman, the woman who engineered the massacre, is alive and free, living in Jordan, where she's a celebrity. It's been years like this. We made very strenuous efforts, and they were rewarded for charges to be brought against her. That process took 5 years. Since then, it's been 7 more years. So that when we confront the reality of a headline like we did last night or today, that Chana Nachenberg, who's been unconscious, but with a world of people around her, heartbroken and devoted, dies, and dies because she never recovered from these injuries. I don't want to be interviewed by people who say, how sad, and that's why I appreciate the way you've introduced this. Yes, this is war, but it's a war of a kind I never expected to have to deal with. We're at war with Jewish leaders, we're at war with officials of the United States government, we're at war with people who never ever say, no, Mr. Roth or Mrs. Roth, you're wrong. They all say, oh, yes, you're right. And we really, really want this to head to justice. The reason I'm sitting here is because we haven't gotten justice.
No, this is obviously a highly disturbing aspect of something already so traumatic here. I mentioned to our viewers here that she was convicted in Israel, in prison, in here for her crimes or accessory to this. Part of the Gilad Shalit deal ended up back in Jordan. So just to fill in some of the gaps for our viewers. Look, I find it disturbing that many Israelis, look, and understandably, especially people in their 20s today, they're hardly aware of the sharp terror of those years. I wrestle with it, perhaps it's for the better. What's your perspective? Do we need more education, more pointed lessons on the events of the Second Intifada?
I'm not a gentle interview subject. Let me say that I'm so grateful to you to raise it the way you have. People don't know about our battle, or about the fact that Tamimi is alive and free in Jordan, or that she boasts openly about what she did and tells other people to do the same. They don't know because people don't want to know about it in the Israeli media. i24 News is obviously not part of the problem that I'm describing. It's part of the exception. We don't have public figures who stand up and say, what can we do to help you, the family, the parents of an American child, because there are now only 3 American victims in this, get justice in the United States? It's the exact opposite. We run into brick walls all the time, and many of those brick walls are right here. My neighbors don't know that we're in this battle. The people in the synagogue where I go and have gone for years don't know. The public in general doesn't know, and the Israeli media have literally canceled interviews with us when it became clear what we're talking about. We're not talking about, please feel good for the suffering we're going through. That's not what we're appearing on TV for. We're appearing on TV to say we are handling this all wrong and there is no justice being done. It's now with the Americans. Help us get that justice in the United States. We're now Thursday afternoon. The First Lady of the United States is an honored guest in Jordan today because they're making a big wedding. Right. Leaders of the entire world are there. And where is the Tamimi case? A case which the President of the United States, in a letter delivered personally to my wife and me, calls the bringing of this woman to justice a foremost priority. There isn't an Israeli who's heard those words. A foremost priority. Is it really a foremost priority? We really don't know. We only know that the woman is free.
Arnold Roth, I can only, in my humble way, thank you for your brief time on our program today, and all of our viewers out there around the world taking this in, hopefully learning something, as outstanding as it is to say that, learning something about these atrocities from over 20 years ago.
I appreciate those words enormously. Thank you very much, David.
Thanks for being with us.